Is this week's issue of Earth 2 the best comic that was released this week? Let's take a look. I figure before I get into Earth 2 issue number 20, I will kind of caveat by saying that Earth 2 is by far my favorite series in the New 52. If you know nothing about Earth 2, it is a refreshing take on the characters in the DC universe. So Lois Lane is actually a robot, Aquaman is actually Aquawoman, Batman is a bit of an older version take on him, Superman is now evil, the Flash is in there as a kid, Arrow's in there as a kid, the Green Lantern was in the comic as a gay man. It's very different from what you're used to reading, but it's worth a pickup. The color saturation is beautiful, and it's amazingly well drawn. So let's actually get into issue number 20. I kind of just wanted to give everybody just a heads up about this series that maybe wouldn't normally give it a chance. But this issue actually takes us in depth about how do you deal with your fears, and not just the stereotypical Batman, punch you in the face, I'm not afraid of anything feel, but more along the lines of how does an individual face their fears and come out better on the other side. Even though you're a Kryptonian, you still have fears, and how do you face them? Or how does a human whose mind has been implanted into a cyborg face their fears? And I find it was a nice, refreshing take away from the constant action that's been happening in the past few issues, to almost kind of deal with a topic that the average day individual does face and deal with. And I thought it was touched on perfectly without being too preachy. So I give him kudos for that. And as you can see, the color saturation, like usual, is absolutely gorgeous. This is a very good read, and it sets up the rest of the series for a rather interesting twist going forward. Though I do have to warn you, if you are incredibly religious, there are certain scenes, right after this, I don't want to show them to, that can be disturbing, in which Superman claims, there is only one God, and that God is Darkseid, and he proceeds to wipe out churches, mosques, Scientology buildings, everything you name it, in the name of Darkseid. So that can be kind of, I want to say it can be kind of maybe hurtful to some of you out there, but keep in mind it is a comic, but I did want to warn you about that. And the ending of this is absolutely, it's going to set up something really cool. I don't want to spoil it, but something really awesome is about to happen in this, and get issue number 20 so that you can see what's going to happen next month. But this week I've actually got a bonus for you, and it's actually Earth number 2 annual. Came out last week, so it was actually 2 weeks in a row of Earth 2. This one is $5 because it's an annual, so it's more expensive than the average Earth 2. But even if you do not read Earth 2, pick this up. So this one is a solid 8 out of 10. It's a worth a buy. And if you're an Earth 2 fan, it's like a 9 out of 10. This one is a 9.5 out of 10, regardless of whether or not you like Earth 2, because this shows the origin story of Earth 2 Batman. And I'm going to tell you something right now. There is nothing, and I do mean nothing, in the DC Universe's origin stories that match what this is. So this is a great read. This is a 10 out of 10. This is my bonus, my pickup of the week. You can find it in any comic book store because it did come out last week. And this is the new issue that is equally, well, not equally as good as this one, but it's equally worth a read, and I highly recommend both of them. So let me know what you thought of them in the comments below. Please no spoilers, and have a good day.